About species and populations, their relationships, the way they change, things like that in an ecosystem. So this is review. Who could define what an ecosystem is?
A group of organisms interacting with each other and a group of communities interacting with.
Okay, so he said with each other and with their environment, which is true. They react with each other and any part of their environment that's life or not life. Okay, so the way we interact, the way we breathe, the way we sleep, all of these things, eat, that defines an ecosystem. We're going to do levels of organization. Also a review going backwards. What's smaller than an ecosystem?
A class? No.
A community.
Good. What's smaller than a community? So this is a group of organisms interacting.
A city.
What do we make up?
People.
Bigger than a species, but smaller than community. Class what?
Class work, no.
Classified.
We make up the blank of this class.
The
Period.
no.
Eyes, blank. What?
Person.
No. It does start with a P though.
Population.
There you go. And then, I didn't hear you. You obviously say it really low. And then we, species, and then? Good.
Organisms.
So organisms, living things. Species, they could reproduce. Population, a group of them living together. Communities would be us and a fish and a dog. Us interacting with the fish, the dog, and every non-living thing is an ecosystem, okay? Habitat is what?
Where an organism lives.
Where an organism lives. And a niche, anybody ever heard of that? Did you hear of this word ever in bio?
Yeah.
I know where's that rhyme for that.
Nietzsche. That's
Niche?
fine. Anybody
That's
know what it
guess.
means?
A
So yeah, a niche. Yeah, it sounds like a bug.
no,
It's not.
Like a niches.
It's what the role you play. So my niche, I'm a teacher, I'm a mother, what?
Okay.
Tech mentor.
Tech person.
Right?
iPad person.
The way I eat or the times I eat is my niche. Okay, so we're gonna try to break this word down and make sense of it based on what you've already learned in this class. So I'm gonna make this picture bigger. Describe to me a niche in this image. Any niche, yes.
The big bird is to keep the smaller birds out of the with their
Wow, I'm impressed, girl.
She just searched that up.
See the answer in the
The big bird is an important, and you're going to learn about that, plays a really important role in that whole picture because it controls population or maintains population balance. Awesome example of a niche. What else?
Those worms.
What about them?
Worming around.
Wait, let Zayden finish. Shh. What do the worms do? We talked about this yesterday.
They're breaking down.
Awesome.
nutrients.
Oh, my heart is happy right now. The worms also play an important role because they recycle nutrients back into the environment. Good. The tree. What's the role of a tree? You just learned this. I want somebody else. What's the role of a tree in the environment? What? It makes oxygen for all the organisms to breathe. It also makes the food. Habitat in this picture.
Tree. The whole picture.
Looks like it.
No, like literally, if I give you a picture and I tell you describe a habitat using this picture, try. Basically, you're going to create the statement. Yes?
basically a habitat in this picture is the tree is creating a habitat for other animals.
That I could accept. So the tree is the home for birds to sleep in or for a squirrel. I see a squirrel in there, yes?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I didn't
All right,
even
good. You pretty much created. All right. Now, in life, you have a fundamental niche, which is, I would call the fake one. I have the potential to do whatever I want because I'm never going to have a limit in the environment to stop me, okay? Not real. Realized niche, real, okay? Two different terms. We all have the potential to do a lot of things, but there's always going to be resistance from the environment. So what does the environment provide us that's necessary for life? The pink are all abiotic and the green is biotic.
Ideal water.
Water.
Agua.
Oxygen. I'm going to just say air. Light is there.
Mineral water.
Food. I'm going to just give you that. Other organisms are food, right? And they're living things. Good. What'd you say? Just minerals and food again. And then climate, okay? All necessary for life. Living and non-living. So what's the definition of species again?
That's a splendid question.
Do high levels of organization. A species is a what? Not a group. I'm a species. I'm an organism that can do what? Reproduce, okay? If you have diversity, you're going to have abundance of me, right? And a variety of me. Look at this class. We have species diversity, right? We're all the same species. We're all the same organism, but we have variety. And that's necessary for survival, okay? This is just a repetition of a niche. Have you ever heard of a generalist and a specialist? I'm going to tell you right now, so I'm going to draw an arrow, are generalist. This little critter over here that I despise is a generalist. I'll tell you later. What can you tell me about us? This is also a generalist, by the way.
They have many niches.
They have many niches. What we call really is a broad niche, because they can do what? If you have a broad niche, what does that mean?
It's like a lot.
They could live anywhere. What else?
Eat anything.
Eat anything.
High tolerance.
Good. And when something happens in our environment, we can bounce back. We figure it out, right? Specialist, narrow niches, which means what?
Special, same.
Like almost one. Yes, like literally a specific habitat. If I destroy a specialist habitat, they can't survive. Their ability to survive is limited. They have a low tolerance for change. And they, again, if I remove their food source, if something happens to these organisms' food source, their chance for survival is low. An example of a specialist is a koala. This is a elephant seal. Pandas are specialists. All right, so you mentioned earlier today the importance of predators. We call these keystone species. They have a super important role in the environment for maintaining balance. And so sometimes the word keystone predator comes out instead of keystone species. But some other organisms also, besides predators, play an important role. But without them, the entire, I would say, balance of the ecosystem is at risk. Foundation species, what do you think they do? And this is an otter or a beaver.
They build stuff.
They build stuff. That is true. They literally make habitats, like they build dams, right? What do you think my indicator species does?
Provide direction.
For what, though? I heard something else. What? Did I hear something? Birds are an example of an indicator species. What do?
Leave when it's hot.
Good. They give you warnings. It's really backwards, right? They leave when it's cold.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Fly south for the winter, right? Because they let you know something's happening. Frogs do this too. They literally flip over and die. That's them telling you something's wrong with the environment.
Earthquake.
Poor guys, yeah. And then we've got native and non-native. Who could tell me the difference?
Living in their ecosystem.
They're originally... You know, I kind of don't like that I say live and thrive. Let's change this. They are originally from the ecosystem. Change this in your notes right now. Non-native,
Are stuff that's been brought over from other ecosystems.
we brought them over. I like it. Define them that way so you know. Native belong there. Non-native do not belong or have been brought in somehow, okay? What are the words that describe native? Indigenous. That's a good one. Write it down. I won't put that one on your test, but that's a really good one. What do we call non-native?
Alien.
Invasive. Alien. Good job. Invasive and aliens.
Like cottonmouth?
And one more. We usually reference them as plants. When people bring invasive species from beautiful tropical countries, we call them what kind of species? Huh? Weeds is definitely one. I'm going to give you a letter. Yes, exotics. Now, the reason why I told you not to put live and thrive here is because the reality is non-native species can live and thrive anywhere. Who could tell me why?
Because there's no predators.
Awesome. There is no predators for a native species. I'm sorry, a non-native species. Exotics, aliens.
Part of the eruption, but Riley.
So natives belong, non-natives do not. And because they don't belong, they don't have a predator. Please write that down. No natural predators means you have a super strong chance of surviving anywhere. And because they don't have a natural food source, they take over natives' food source, causing them to struggle to survive as well.